Hello, hello, hello. Fanatic North. Hello, hello. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the live stream. I have the hiccups, so bear with me on that. Zardis is a YouTuber, and if you haven't checked him out yet, you should probably go do so because he's, as his wife would say, the Bob Ross of City Skylines YouTubers. And this is our third iteration. We have done two previous community builds, and this is our third version of it. This is the first round. Each round is 1 week. We are Team 1. I am one of the moderators for the game, and I am Team 1's moderator. And we are ending our turn, so as you can see, this is our area. We have to stay within the bounds of this district here and for this round. Hey, you just changed your name, Harley. Well, how's it going, buddy? In any case, so we got to stay inside those bounds, and I think we have done so. We did actually go outside the bounds to complete this highway here, but we did so with the specific permission of EXO, the other moderator. And then EXO and Team 2, I believe their first round is going to be at Deep Lakeside here. But they are planning on also building a road that goes somewhat through this way and then coming across this river. I don't know if they're going to make it over the island or just straight across here and then meeting up with that right there. So that is my best understanding as to what they're going to do, and they have asked me for that permission, and I have given it. I think either way would go. I would like them to work with us to possibly do I think this road, this road here will continue across and maybe go over into Elizabethshire or possibly over here. But you know what? We will cross that bridge, no pun intended, but completely intended actually, when it comes. So, hello, Jack Daniels. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And so this is what we got so far. We got about 2,381 people. And we are actually making a profit here. Let us check to see how things are going traffic-wise. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we're at 80%. And honestly, it seems like the areas that we are having problems are areas that were default to the map. So I don't know. I will talk to EXO, and I think on tomorrow, before Team Two's turn starts, EXO and I will do some sort of stream to talk about what's going on. So maybe what we can do is he and I can address some of these areas together if we need to. Like this area, I think is fine. Like yes, it's showing up a red, but you know what? The traffic's flowing, so that's fine. But I think it was over here. Looks like it might need a little bit of help because what's going on is the merging is causing a problem. So let's see how it works out here. Painted Heptagon, how's it going? You should build some industry so we can get some residential demand as well. Yes, sir. Yeah, I haven't even started to really look at what my team has done to see what we can change. I started with traffic flow, and it seems like it's kind of low for what it is. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the options here. I'm going to go to TMPE and make sure that our our gameplay, we want to enable advanced AI, and we want to enable more realistic parking there. I think those two things, whenever you're playing this game, and I'll try and put this on the server as well, we want to make sure those two things are enabled because otherwise we're going to run into some issues. And that might solve some of the problem, just doing that. I'm not sure if it will. I'm going to let it run for a little while. There shouldn't be too much traffic. Looking at this, it's not really, there's no traffic areas that I can see of any problem. So any traffic that's on the map is out on the freeways and the little roads that they got going on that came with the map. So that being said, one thing I can see, so our team, the way we worked it, we have two planners, Nuki Duke and Bryson, and they kind of gave us a sense of what's going on. I did also put together like a little idea of what I wanted to do, and this more or less follows that plan. And of course, after consulting with Nuki Duke and Bryson to see what they wanted, some of the where we put the zoning is a little bit different than how I had suggested it, which is perfectly fine. The planners had their ideas, and I think their ideas are great. I think what we're planning on doing is when round 5 comes, this will become office space here. And since that's going to become office space, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start it off as industry. Since we can't do any high density until round 5. That all looks like light industrial. I'm sorry, light commercial there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some industry in over here. And that'll be upgraded to offices later on in the game. Let's just put a little bit right there for now. See how that works. Now, one other thing that I see that I'd like to change from the way we did it, I had originally installed these 3 towards the end here, and I think it was Costache, but I can't remember. If it wasn't Costache, who would it have been? I forget. I apologize. But one of my team members, El Hayes Artist, by the way, I just noticed that you were in the thing as well, so welcome. I think these 2 recycling centers need to move because we're going to want to expand our water out along this way, and we don't want this ground to be polluted before we do so, because then it's going to taint the water supply, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the same 2. Let me make sure my settings are all the way I like them. There we go. And I'm going to move them over here. I think that will be better. So I think that'll be a smarter move. It'll put it far enough away from the water that there won't be any pollution. And then the only other thing I'm worried about is this pollution from this industrial over here, maybe bleeding over. But it should be far enough away for now. So we won't do anything for now about that and just see how it goes. Looks like we have a fire here. So let's check our services here. Doesn't look like we have a police station at all. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put one in. Police station. I'm just going to put a regular police station for now. We can upgrade this later. Where should I put it? Excuse me. I think I like the idea of putting it over here. Whenever I'm placing my police stations, fire stations, hospitals, etc., I like to put them on a side road that's right near a main road, particularly avenues, because if I put them on the main road, they can't turn left, but if I put them here, then they can turn right or left, and they can also go off into the rest of the city here. So that's typically what I like to do. Do we have a fire station? We do not. So let's go ahead and put a fire station in as well. And I think I like this corner here for it. I'm going to turn anarchy off so that it'll delete anything that it happens to be on top of. But yeah, I like that spot for it. And then looks like we already have a clinic in place. So good on us. Okay. So let's let that run for a little bit and see how it goes. So how are you guys doing? Painted, Jack, Sardis, Harley. Harley, I'm going to probably start calling you Frantic just so that I don't have to keep on remembering that you're Harley. Yeah, that industrial's coming in nicely. That really satisfied the demand too. It was just about the right amount. Really helped our bottom line as far as making money goes. Let's take a look. I think we put a bus line in as well. Yeah, so there's a bus line here. it's kind of... I think I'm going to change it a little bit for now. I think that's actually a great placement for it, but since there's nothing zoned right here for right now, I'm going to move it to over here. Maybe do it like this. Which way would be better? Yeah, this way would be better. There we go. Maybe do it like that. And I wonder if we can maybe stick this over here so that they don't cross the streams. I don't like crossing the streams. You don't want to cross the streams. Maybe we add one more, like over here. Like that. Thanks, Frantic. Appreciate you. All right, and so let's see. I didn't actually pay attention to how many riders. So we have 130 per week, which considering we only have 2,300 people, that's not too bad. That's a little bit less than, what was that, like 5% right now? Which, for something this size, I think is fine. Now, we need to talk with this with both teams before we do it. But one of my things that I knew more of these in. Oh, and look at this when they moved it. So I'm going to replace this with Anarchy on, and I'm going to move it a little bit closer just to save a little bit of room. There we go. And then I'm going to... Oh, no. Don't want to get the actual building. No, still don't want to get the actual building. Got it. Oh, almost had it. We'll connect those. And then we'll continue it over here. Like this. But then I'll kind of just go to the side here. Connect that way. And we need to get power. So I'm going to use our new handy Better Underground power lines. And I found in personal use that you don't want to stick it like right in the middle of where you're going to have a zone, because if you do so, it's not going to let anything grow in that zone, which, you know, is kind of funky. But if you put it under like a road, it does just fine. Right, and so I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it over here at our highway, so it just bridges the highway. And there we go. Should have power and water. Now, looking at the... Yeah, we got plenty of water, we got plenty of power for now, and we should for a little bit here. Looks like we have a burnt-out building, so I'm going to delete that. Alright. So what do we guys think? For the sake of... I don't think that looks very great. You know, I think Kostash put it in with this version. I had put a different version in. And I think what happened is I actually brought in a tree asset that was not part of our build because it wasn't from the original Perth. I had thought it was. And so I'm leaving a couple there so we kind of get a hint of where our border is still. But that way it doesn't, you know, we don't repeat the Darth Vader mask debacle. If y'all remember that. Okay. So everything is looking pretty good here. Now, what we could do is we could use the new pedestrian build crossing here. Build a crossing on the avenue. We don't need to have a stoplight at that crossing. But then what we'll do is we can then take our little... Just bridge this nice across here. So that people can still walk and have some good pedestrian access there. And then maybe we'll put some trees, you know. Just like Bob Ross, you know, maybe a tree lives right there, wherever you want. It's your own little world. I'm really getting that in. Payte Heptagon, you can use move it to delete it. Move it to delete it. What am I trying to delete? Oh, maybe that's a reference to when I was having trouble with the water pipe. I bet you, and you know what? That might have been a good. If I didn't, I got it figured out. But if I hadn't got it figured out, that probably would have been a good idea. So thanks for that suggestion. Let's see. Yeah, we got some spacing here, so I'm gonna put some more tree here. Maybe like one of these, or a couple of these, right there, like that. That looks pretty good to me. I know Kostash. Probably his next turn. We'll let him do a lot of the, um, micro detailing. He does a great job now. One thing that the team had talked about doing, and I'm not going to quite do it yet with the industry right here, because it's starting to spread here, but they were talking about having like a riverside park here. So maybe we can go ahead and paint the park area using, of course, the Park Life DLC. I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way around to at least right there. We might continue it on, I don't know, but I know that at least my idea right now is that this road is going to bridge across to the other side, assuming this is Team 2's land, so when they get this area, that's going to be up to Team 2 with working with us to be able to do that. So I can't fully assume that that's going to happen, but that is the desire, the hope, the idea. Okay, Willow Grounds. I don't know if I want to go with that. What shall we name this? Oh, to delete. He was saying I could have used move it to delete those trees faster, and you're not. You know what? You're not wrong. Yeah, I got it done though. Instead of Willow Grounds, what do we name it? I don't know. Trying to come up with a good name. Well, I always do this for my buddy Harley over here. So why don't we name it Frantic North Memorial Park. I know you're not dead, buddy, but in the game, it's going to be a moment back and says, hey, let's do something else with it. We can do something else, but that's what we'll do for now. And I don't know. Let's. Oh no. Go to the park here. Make it just a nice little city park here. I think this main road here would probably be the best place to throw that. And certainly want to have something right about here. And probably something around here. Let's do the straight slope. And let's increase it. I'll actually probably use move it to make this all nice and even. It's a ghost talking. That's funny. I don't know if we want it that high. That looks a little high to me. I wonder what's going on with that. Some funky stuff going on there. Now let's get it back to the ground here. We can take the straight slope off since we're on the ground. We'll just kind of build it around here. Now we'll put it like right there. Try and build it straight this point. And we'll give it a little curve. And then I'll just kind of go straight out here. And then the idea will be that we actually take those out. And at that point, we'll put like the plaza. So the idea is to kind of have it lined up here. Think like that. Right, and then we'll just have it then I'm going to use move it. Oh, first let me delete these extraneous ends. Then I'll use move it to get all of these. Control H and make it nice and even there. That looks better. And then we can bring that in there. And bring that in there. And that in there. There we go. So we got a nice little plaza there. We can maybe put in the restrooms, of course. You need the restrooms. If you ever had a kid, you know that going to a park without a restroom is kind of not cool. Put a little cafe in there, a little info booth in there. There we go. Wonder if we're close enough to the coast to go ahead and put a park pier in. Do it right there. I guess what you would do then is you could put like a little, maybe a couple gazebos. And I think a place for kids to play. And we can do some of the other stuff later. But let's put a nice little path here. And I want all of these to be the same as that. There we go. And then we can kind of bridge up that slope. And then I'll go back to move it here. And I'll make that slope as even as I can. There we go. There we go. I think I'm going to also take the level terrain tool. I'm going to take it from there. I'm going to increase the brush size to something minimal. And I'm going to up it a little bit right here. And then go back and soften it. Like that. And I think with that those nude kinds of cliffs, that actually doesn't look too bad. So I think also if you were going to have a park here, just for the safety's sake, you would probably also go ahead and I think I'll go over here and get it. Probably also do some sort of little fencing here, just so people don't fall over the edge. Let's go ahead and take our angle snap off so I can get these angles going. You know, just to protect people from getting too close to that cliff edge there. Now, that looks a bit high to me, so I'm going to bring it on down. I always like to look at this point right here for reference on how high that really should be. I think that looks much more realistic and better. Yeah. Kind of wish it was maybe a little bit closer. The pier's too high. You should level it with the path again. Yeah. You know what, Jack Daniels? I just did that, but because of the delay, I just now saw your post there. So I think you're right. You are probably right. Now, one of the other things I think we should maybe do is maybe we should go ahead and actually move these out a little bit so that the pier's actually over the water. Now, we should maybe also make sure everything is even with that. There we go. Everybody got flooded for a second there, but that's okay. We're all good now. I'm fine here. We're all fine here. How are you? All right. Yeah, put it back up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll just just move it to help the curves get back to where they ought to be. Here we go. And bring that out a little bit. There we go. Well, that still needs a little bit of help. There we go. Yeah. And so I could probably now go ahead and move some of these out a little bit. That probably doesn't need to be quite as far now. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. And let's see, we're already getting a few visitors, 18, not too terribly many. Got plenty of entertainment for the next couple of levels. You know, and then if this area gets more built up, I think we'll get a lot more visitors as well. Looks like all that industry went away, but we do have a lot of desirability for residential here. So I'm going to throw in maybe a couple more. Now, should I be nice and I'm going to go XO on this thing and just control, be a bit more controlled in how things zone. Yeah, that's that's really all we have the room for. So I wonder if it's because they didn't have any jobs. I probably need to educate. Now, do we have a school? No schools yet. So let's we kind of want to probably stick it right in the center of town here. And that's a university, library. So this is the new high school. Whew, that one is quite large. Where are we going to stick something like that? I don't really have the room to stick it out here. We almost need to stick it like in this square here. I think this road is going to have to go. And quite frankly, all of this zoning. Well, it looks like we already have a little park here. No, I don't want to destroy this structure. Let's move it. I'm going to move it to over here for now, and I'll move it back in a second here. Yeah, I know, everybody's pissed off at me. Everybody's pissed off at me. Now, Frantic North is saying, I don't want to educate too many because they won't want to work in industry. With the new, because even with, if you don't have the campus DLC, they did still change how the education system works, and it's a little bit more realistic. And so you're going to want to educate earlier on in the game a little bit more. Otherwise, your industry will actually not work as well. You don't want to have them too high educated. So we're still not going to put a university in yet, at least not on my side of the river. Now, what Team 2 decides to do is completely up to them, of course. But I do think we want to go ahead and put the high school. Okay, now we can go back and grab this and put a tennis court, put it right there. Yeah, like that. And then I guess what we'll do is we'll just grab the Aussie trees. We probably want to bring the size down a little bit, though. Oh, no, you know what? That doesn't look right because it's nothing but conifers. But I had... This was set up properly at one point, I know. I wonder if this is not working properly. That might not be working properly. I'm just not going to use it. Okay. So we'll just stick... we want to make that brush go way down inside. In fact, we might just do them one at a time. And I'm going to turn on tree anarchy so that we can go a little bit into the asset here. Even. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, let's move this recycling center over with the rest of them. I didn't even see that was there till just now. Why is my industry manual? I think I just need more. We just need to have more people, which we're really not going to get until next round. So that'll give plenty of demand for you. Painted heptagon. Oh, yeah. Wonder if we had a death wave or something, because the population has gone down by half. And yes, I took some residential out, but I didn't take that much out. I wonder what's going on with that. I do like how we have these pathways going in here and right here. Yeah, I especially like this one now that we have like a thing going on. Though at some point we're probably going to need a bridge over this road, at least this road, because I see this avenue becoming a major avenue when we continue it on and connect. Washington Street, it says. I'm going to go ahead and name this. We're going to name this. Jack's Way. Jack always likes to have it his way. So this is Jack's Way. Because that's going to go on, I think, into Team 2's area. No telling where it'll go. And then I know we'll have it continue on, and it'll probably end up into Hillshire Farms over here. Eventually, it won't get there next round or anything, but so Team 1's next round is going to be Hillshire Farms here. So we have just a few farms here that we have purchased for development here. We do have a bit of a crossroad, so I'm thinking this will be like the town center, if you will. Jack, referring to that pedestrian overpass. Yes, we absolutely do have a pedestrian overpass we could put there. I'm not putting it in yet because I don't think we need it, but I think if we go here, maybe not. Maybe it's in here. You know what I do? Is I go to find it, and I type in ped. And there you go. You got the 4 to 6 lanes and the 2 lanes. Oh, and Exo Hunter just posted something. I don't know what. So, anyway. Going back to what I was saying earlier. This is our area for round 2. It's not that big. It's a bit small, but it's just going to be a small little town. And so what we got to think about is, how do we want to get people from Hillshire Farms over to Czardiville? And if we're going to propose doing anything extra from here to there, we need to submit that to Exo Hunter so that he can approve it. So as far as my team goes, we want to make sure that we are planning what we're going to do from here to there. My idea would be to just maybe take this road here and extend it down either along this row or maybe along, it makes more sense to me to maybe go along this row. So you're going between what people's plots are, you know, if we're trying to replicate reality. So have a road that comes off here, and maybe we cut off a little bit of their yard, but we go there and we just follow this road all on down and just connect to the highway there. Jack Daniels Prime Exo said, have you used any Green Cities DLC content? I have a builder who does not have the DLC. Yes, I believe I have. Our power plant is a Green Cities DLC. I'm not sure if the recycling centers are. I think the recycling centers are as well. Well, in any case, so that's my proposal, but I want my team to think it through. Is we could do it there, or maybe we go off of this road and do it right here. But then you got a little bit of twisty turning to keep from doing too much damage to people's farms. You could do one of those where you come across here, do a left turn, and then a right turn with the road, and then come on out like that. So that's what we have. I think that's it, guys. We're going to go ahead and save this and turn it over. And yeah, I think that's about it. Anybody? It seems like we got a bit of a debacle going on with our DLCs. So I'm gonna have to go on to there and see what's going on there. But thanks so much for watching this stream, guys. We're gonna be doing this on a more regular basis. So Exo and I will go over. We'll probably go ahead and get Team Two's road over here built, and we might address some of this other traffic if I see anything that's particularly necessary, and go from there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.